Hey guys, it's Wednesday, it's hump day, it's day 63. Wednesday hump day, day 63. All you need today is a kettlebell, dumbbell, Frankenstein kettlebell, whatever you want, a homemade version, as long as you have something that you can hold in one hand, just like I have here. So today we focus a little bit more on the core. It's down to public vote. Hey Aidan, hey Aisling, how are we? Connor, come on in. Hey Sharon, big wave. Hey Jer. Jenny Coon, how are you? Curly Cum, how's he doing? Hey Tom, how are we getting on? So again, today guys, all you need is a kettlebell or similar. So your dumbbell, your kettlebell, your bag of books, whatever it is, as long as you can hold it in one hand. If some of you are keeping an eye on our Instagram story or our feed, so you probably noticed that yesterday I threw out a suggestion box so you guys could let us know what you wanted. Two things that stood out for me. Number one was core, number two was arms. Actually, sorry, three things. And number three was completing an exercise, having it done, putting a line under it, and it won't be showing up again throughout the rest of the session. So that is what I'm going to try and focus on today, because I like to give you guys the vote and get you guys to give me input. Hey teens, hola. Oh, you're very European, Tina, aren't you? You always have a new way of saying hello. Hey Nessa, hey Benita, how are we all doing guys? Come on in, come on in. So again, all you need is a little bit of space and your bell. And we're going to get into a full body workout. Okay, so a couple more seconds and we'll get into our session. So it's session number 63 today, so Wednesday, session 63. It's crazy, so we've done 63 sessions. We're on our 13th week of essentially lockdown home workouts. And these again are thrown up on our Instagram TV channel and also on our YouTube channels, so you guys can access them at any time. I know a lot of you do them in relation to going back to work now. A lot of people are going back to work, or we're slowly working our way back, and they're availing of the sessions later on in the day, because a couple of people have sent me messages to say thank you for the sessions during the day. It's there. Feel free to like, tag, share and comment on them whenever you get a chance. Okay, so let's get into our warm-up. So we want to activate the posterior chain, which is the back of the body. So onto the floor, heels on the floor, and just pushing through the heels, driving the hips up into the sky. You're going to get a little bit of a stretch on the quads and the hip flexors, but you're also getting the glutes as well, glutes and hamstrings. So again, pushing through the heels, getting your hips as high as possible, pushing the floor down. Shoulder blades back flat on the floor, and now we're going to raise one leg into the air and drive off the other heel that's left on the floor, and we're looking for full range of movement. Full range of movement. And change other sides, driving off the right heel now. But again, if you started with the other leg, that's fine, as long as you're using one leg and you're emphasizing on pushing through the heel of that foot. Okay, and we're going to stay on our backs. We're going to put our arms out crucifix, legs out nice and flat on the floor, raise one into the air, cross the body, keeping the shoulder blades on the floor, bring her back up, lower her back down, and repeat to the other side. So up, over, up and back down. And we're looking to rotate as much as possible through the spine, keeping our shoulder blades flat on the floor. Big rotation. So everything we do today, we're trying to focus on predominantly the core, whether it's direct or indirect. We will be bringing in individual movements as well. Three areas of the core we're focusing on: rectus abdominis, transverse abs, and obliques. Obliques are the twisters, rectus abdominis are the crunchers, and the transverse abs are the foundation, the deep core, the key to a flat stomach. They're the most important to start off with. Okay, up we come. So we're now going to go into a squat. At the bottom of the squat, we're going to push our knees out with our elbows. We're now going to hook our fingers under our toes and then raise our hips as high as possible, stretch out our hamstrings and our lower back. And then after 3 seconds, down into that squat again, pushing the knees out for 3, and then raising the hips high again for a further 3. And keep that going. So what we're trying to do, or what I'm trying to do today, guys, is I'm trying to use previous exercises as a point of reference. So we're starting with what we know, and then we're going to just change up the focus very slightly. So the movement patterns aren't alien to you, but putting them together in the sequence that we put them together in will be slightly different and a little bit more challenging. So what that means is we start slower, we emphasize dialing in that technique, and then once you have the technique, then you can start playing with the tempo. So the emphasis today is start with what you know and build from there. Okay, up we come. Feet under the hip bones, big stride forward, drop the knee, push through the sole of the foot, get yourself back up, standing tall. Squeeze your stomach as you push yourself away from the floor. because the emphasis there is on stabilizing yourself with the core. So big stride, drop the knee, push through the sole of the foot, and standing up tall. You all right, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Tie your hair up there while you're lunging. Multitasking, well done. Good stuff. Okay guys, so we're gonna start with our kettlebell swings. So we're gonna start right hand for 40 seconds, 5-second transition to the left, and we're doing 3 rounds of that. So right hand for 40, change left hand for 40, and it's 3 rounds of that. Then the kettlebell swing, the straight kettlebell swing is gone, and we're changing up the angle. So 10 seconds, we're into our swings. Grab your bell, right hand on the bell. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go into our swing. So the reason we're starting with kettlebell swings is because it's something we know. You're driving the floor away aggressively with the soles of the feet. Your shoulders are pinned back and your stomach muscles are tight at the top. So I want you to really focus on those 3 points today, because you're going to be bringing those into the kettlebell swings and the other movements later on in the session. So drive the floor away, shoulder blades pinned, squeeze your stomach at the top. Drive the floor away, shoulder blades pinned, it's a spoon. Squeeze your stomach at the top, it's just a spoon. Shoulder blades back and aggressively drive that floor away. And we're going to change to the left hand. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Left hand swings. So again, aggressively push that floor down, keep your shoulder blades pinned, and squeeze your stomach at the top, because we're going to be using this to focus on a different angle of a swing later on in the session. And control the breathing at all times. It's a big inhale as we stick our butt out. We aggressively push the floor away, and we exhale and squeeze our stomach at the top. And we refuse to let go of those shoulder blades. 7 seconds, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the right hand. 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's swing. So again, the arms are there to steer, the legs, hips and core are there to drive, and the shoulder blades are there to maintain posture. So we squeeze our stomach to keep the energy transfer consistent from lower to upper, and also by squeezing your stomach muscles, you're protecting your posture and your spine. Keep that going. So every few seconds, you're just going back through the technique with your checklist to focus and make sure those areas are covered at all times. And changing hands, 5 seconds, we're going back to the left. 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Shoulders back, aggression through the legs and soles of the feet, stomach squeezed at the top. So consciously squeeze your stomach at the top. So we're going to bring in a lateral swing over the next bunch of exercises. So don't worry about it just yet. Just remember, start with what you know, and then we'll dial it up from there. 17 seconds, and then we're going to go back to the right side for the third round, right and left. That's it. 7 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the right hand, last time on the right side. 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So we're going to go right side, then you got a 5-second breather, and we're going to go left side. Then you've got a 5-second breather to get yourself on the floor. And we're going to go 2 rounds, so that's right left, on oblique sky reachers. So we're going to sit up with the bell above our chest and push it towards the sky. But before we do that, we got to the left side of the body. 10 seconds. So going through that checklist, making sure everything's in sync. 3, 2, 1, and change. Good. Shoulders back, squeeze stomach, aggression through the soles of the feet. So we got 35 seconds, and then we're going to get onto our backs. We're going to sit up, and we're going to push that right hand to the sky. You're going to use your left elbow on the floor to help push it up off the floor. 20 seconds to go. So again, remember this is the last set of regular swings you're doing. So I want you to remember how it feels, because we're going to be using the same hip and leg extension and the posture and core on the lateral swing later on. 3, 2, 1, onto the floor. Bell in the right hand, left elbow on the floor, knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor, and sit up and punch it to the sky. Keeping the arms straight. We don't want to generate momentum by lowering the bell with the elbow and then extending the arm. We are generating the only energy through the core. Everything else is a static hold. So what we're focusing on here is using the upper core to get the shoulder blades off the floor, and then sitting across the body as the left elbow drags you over, and that will bring the obliques into play, especially when you're rolling back to center and down again. So focus on the abs. 3, 2, 1. Change hands, don't do it above the face. Left hand above the head, chest now, right hand on the floor, and let's go. Sitting up, using that right elbow on the floor. So we're keeping our arm fully extended above our chest at all times. We don't want to drop the weight every time we're down on the floor, because then you're actually building up tempo and momentum using the weight as a counterbalance, and that will take the pressure off your core. So if you're really serious about targeting your abs, do not let your bell drop. You're keeping your arm fully extended. 10 seconds, and then we're going to go for another round on each side before we move on into the high plank. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Back to the right hand. Again, switch, not above the face. And let's go. Bell above the chest. Up we get. So squeeze on that core. Drive the bell up high. And then resist on the way back down. Don't just flop down to the floor. Consciously lower yourself down, using your core, your abs, as the winch. Under control at all times. 17 seconds, and then we're switching to the left arm up and the right arm on the floor. And we're trying to keep those legs and knees as steady as possible. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change. Last time, left hand above the chest, right hand on the floor, and let's go. Sit yourself up. Don't be afraid to use that elbow and hand on the floor to help, because you're lowering yourself back down using your stomach muscles. You're not just flopping to the floor. So you actually get more on the way down when you're resisting than you get on the way up. It's eccentric versus concentric. Because eccentric is essentially loading or using the muscles under load, whereas concentric is contracting them aggressively. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 seconds. You're going to ditch the bell. You're going to go around into the plank position. 2, 1, and bell down. Plank position. Let's go. Knees up off that floor. Shoulder blades relaxed. Palms fully in contact with the floor. Fingertips on the floor. Ball of the hand on the floor. Heel of the hand on the floor. Feet the same width as your hands. Controlling the posture and focusing on keeping those abs tight. So the 3 exercises we've just covered, swings, oblique sky reach, and the plank, are all exercises you're very familiar with at this stage. So we're going to start bringing in slight variations now. So the next exercise we're going to go into after one more round of plank is a lateral swing. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 5 seconds, we're going back to the plank. 3, 2, 1, and plank it up. So we're going to go into a lateral swing next with the right hand only. So as I've always been saying, the leg and hip extension is the driver. The arms are the steerer. So you're going to do a swing, hip drive, but your arms are going to steer the bell out to the right hand side. So you're going to be driving with the hips, extending them into the floor and standing tall, but your arms and your torso are going to rotate around to steer the bell to the right side. Keep an eye on the bell at all times and be conscious of where you are in relation to your knee. You do not want that bell banging into your knee. And up we get. So we're going to start with the bell outside the left foot. We're going to put our right hand on it, shoulders back, chest out. We're going to stand tall and steer it out to the side. Stand tall, steer it out to the side. So think about the hips. The hips are doing the exact same as they would on a regular swing. The only difference is the arms are now rotating across the body and throwing that bell oblique woodchop style up and over the shoulder. So we are still maintaining perfect posture on the shoulder blades, and you have to squeeze that core in order to transfer the torso energy into the arm. 3, 2, 1, change to the left. Put the bell outside the right foot, 2, 1, posture and go. So it's all about driving with those hips. You now no longer have the ability to hyperextend your hips and throw that bell out in front using the wrong hip movement. You have to rely on the energy transfer from the hip drive through the core into the arms, and that is then steering it in a different direction as opposed to going backwards and forwards. 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest and change right hand. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. From the left side across the body, thank you, to the right. So shoulders back. The first thing that's going to want to go are the shoulder blades, because that bell is pulling your right arm under the body. Do not let the shoulder blades go. Keep them pinned back at all times. Hips get pushed out the back. Snap the hips back into position, standing upright and swinging that bell across the body. So you'll already be aware of an accelerated heart rate, but focus on one side of the body more than the other. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Whew, change. Left hand on the bell. Right side to the left shoulder. Let's go. Throw the hips forward. Keep the shoulder blades pinned. Keep the stomach squeezed. Again, 3 points. Driving aggressively through the soles of the feet. Keeping the shoulder blades pinned at all times. And squeezing your stomach muscles at the top of the swing. So keep the focus on that technique at all times. 20 seconds to go. 16 seconds. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're back to the right side. Got to keep an eye on that bell at all times. Let's go. From the left, up across to the right. Let's go. So it's your last set of lateral swings. Shoulder blades are pinned, stomach muscles are tight, and the soles of the feet are aggressively driving the floor away. And that swing is still maintaining perfect posture and perfect technique despite the fatigue levels. 15 seconds, and then we're switching to the left hand. So if you do anything, you're focusing on the shoulder blades staying pinned. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Change. Left hand from the right foot over the left shoulder. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So, last set, pin the shoulder blades. Now we're working. Good stuff. So at the end of this round, we're going to go onto our back and we're going to lie with our bell directly above our chest. We're then going to draw our knees up to hit that bell. But you are not lowering the bell to accommodate the knees. You are bringing the knees all the way up to hit that bell. 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, brace the core. 2, 1, down we get. On our backs. Arms fully extended above the chest. And let's bring those knees up to hit the bell. If you're able to hold it with just the right hand, go for it. If you're struggling and you need help and stability, hold it with both hands. We're going for 4 40-second rounds on this, and I'm trying to alternate between the right and left with each round. So in order to hit the bell with your knees, you're gonna have to roll those hips up off the floor, because there is no way you can get your knees to hit the bell when the arm is fully extended above the chest. 3, 2, 1, rest and change. Left hand above the chest with the bell, legs straight. Draw the knees in, raise the hips to drive the kneecap to the bell. So we're looking to really keep that bell as steady as possible above the chest, and then we're drawing the knees in, and then a little hip drive off the floor in order to make up the height difference between where the knees are and where they need to be in relation to the hand or the bell. So that those knees will probably naturally hit your tricep or your shoulder. We want to push the hips off the floor to raise them up to hit the bell. Now let's bring in the lower core and some obliques. 2, 1, rest, change. Back to the right hand. Oh, here we go. Extend above the chest and up we get. So we're drawing in, hip driving up, and then lowering back down through the hips and extending. So we are not letting our body just drop to the floor. At all times, there is control. At all times, if you decide to change your mind and change the angle, you should be able to do it because you're in control. 16 seconds, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change back to the left hand last time. And after this, we're going into our transverse abs, which is a beast hold. Let's go. So down, extend the legs, draw the knees in and up, touch the bell, down, extend the legs, draw the knees in, hips up, touch the bell. So very light tip with the knees against the bell, and then down and out. So in 20 seconds, we're going to ditch the bell for a few, and we're going to go into 2 40-second beast holds. And then we're back into a variation of the kettlebell snatch. Clean. 3, 2, 1, bell down. Over we get into the beast hold. 2 hands, 2 knees, 2 feet. All the same width. And then raise the knees just enough off the floor that they're no longer load bearing. And that is about 0.5 centimeter to 1 centimeter off the floor. Any higher, and then you're taking the focus off the stomach muscles. So if you're struggling and you don't feel it on the stomach, walk the knees closer to the hands. If you're still not feeling it, walk them back. Find that balance between the core and the angle of the knees and hips. We're really trying to focus on the stomach muscles here. So we've got to relax our shoulder blades and keep all our weight through the ball of the hand, heel of the hand, fingertips of the hand, and the 2 feet. And rest. 5 seconds. We're going again. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So after this 40-second round, we're going to go into a kettlebell clean. And the kettlebell clean is not touching the floor this time. It's going to be a swing on the way down and a clean on the way up. So the difference is a swing is the bell is thrown out away from the body at arm extension, and the clean is the bell travels up the contours of the body to the chest. So it's the shortest way up and the longest way down. Slow is key in order to get the technique. We're starting with the right hand. 4, 3, 2, 1. Up we get. Right hand on the bell. Stand tall. Shoulders back. Hinge forward. Bell goes just below the knee. Drive the floor away. Catch on the chest. Throw it out in front and swing. And then drive it up to the chest. Throw it out in front and swing. And then you're driving it up and you're swinging it down. So it's the long way down and the short way up. Go slow because you're going to be using the core, the chest, and the shoulders on the right side. So it's a long way down, short way up. Throw it out in front, let it swing down, and drive it up. Throw it out in front, let it swing down, and drive it up. 3, 2, 1. Change to the left. 3, 2, 1. Hinge. Clean. Throw it out, swing it down, and clean it up. Throw it down, swing it down, clean it up. So the clean, the bell stays as close to the body as possible, and the swing, the bell goes out in front, arm extension. And we are really driving through the soles of the feet whilst maintaining the posture on the shoulder blades and squeezing the core at the top. Sound familiar? That's because it's the exact same 3 movements as we do on our swing, both types, lateral and regular, and also on our squat, snatch, thruster. 3, 2, 1. Back to the right side. Stick your ass out, hinge, and then clean it up. Throw it, swing it down, clean it up. And at no point is your arm pulling. Your arm is purely pushing the bell away to get it out in front and then steering on the way up. So when you're cleaning on the way up, you want to be aggressive enough on the legs and hips that you're generating a weightlessness in the bell, and at that point, slip in underneath behind it and rack it on the chest. And then you reassess, throw it out in front, and then repeat process. Take your time. Essentially, it's a new sequence of movements. And back to the left hand. 3, 2, 1. Hinge, clean her up, throw it out, swing it down. So yes, we know how to swing. Yes, we know how to clean. But trying to join the two together is a little bit more difficult because they're new to us. So take your time. At any point, take a breather, pause, reassess, focus on the technique, and go again. And at all times, aggression through the soles of the feet, aggression away from the floor, shoulder blades pinned at all times, and stomach squeezed at the top. So again, you're never pulling with the arm, you're purely pushing and steering. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the right hand. Last time each side. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hinge, clean, swing it with the hinge. So focus on what you know. Make a perfect movement pattern on the bits you know, and then really concentrate on the transition between the two. And you'll notice I'm not going crazy fast, but my heart rate is up past 150 at the moment, which is pretty high. Drive that floor away, catching it on the chest, and then throwing it away, swinging it down whilst maintaining that perfect posture. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're back to the left last time. Hand behind the back to hinge. Over we go. And then drive it up. And then swing it out and down. Drive it up. Swing it out and down. Whew. So we're now going to lie on our backs after this. And we're going to hold the bell 2 hands above the chest. We're then going to draw both knees up and tip both knees off our right elbow. Then we're going to extend the legs down and draw both knees in and tip them off the left elbow whilst holding that bell above the chest rigidly, not above the face, above the chest. 4, 3, 2, 1. Down we get. Fully extend the arms above the chest. The right knee is the target for both, or right elbow is the target for both knees. Down and away. In left elbow, down and away. In right elbow, down and away. Whew. And if possible, you're trying to get the 2 knees to the outside of the elbow, and your elbows and your arms and the bell are not moving to accommodate the knees. The knees are moving to accommodate the elbows. Do not let the bell move to accommodate the knees. And you're going to have to roll your hips off the floor in order to get the knees past the elbow. So we're really focusing, rest, we're really focusing on drawing the knees in, hips up, and that twist. Let's go round 2. So when you draw the knees in, hips up, and twist, you should really feel that on the obliques, which essentially is the top area of the love handle above the hip bone. And again, control is key. The slower and more controlled you go, the more emphasis you're going to have on your stomach muscles. I myself have a tendency to kind of run away with the exercise as I get into the zone, and I actually have to have a word with myself. Slow it down, tail it back, and bring it back into line. And rest. We got 2 more rounds, alternating each time. Let's go. Up and in, across, up and in, across. And you're really trying to emphasize that rotation on the trunk while the hips are elevated off the floor. Because the more your hips rotate when they're elevated off the floor, the more your obliques have to work. Because there's nothing else that will do the job for them. And we don't want to swing the legs in a momentum. We want to control the legs as they come up, draw them in under control, rotate them under control, and then lower them back down out under control. There's no point in lashing through these reps. And rest, one more round. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. So we're gonna stay with the kettlebell for the next exercise, and it's a kettlebell pass through. So it's a high plank. We're gonna take the bell, which is behind our left hand, we're gonna take it with the right hand and bring it over to the right side. You're then gonna take it back with the left hand and put it on the left side, and repeat process. So we're taking from one side across to the other. Essentially we're dragging it from left to right, and then right to left. But we're keeping our hips in check, and slow is key. 3, 2, 1, bell on floor. High plank. Put the bell directly behind your left hand. Take it with the right hand, bring it to the right. Put the right hand back on the floor. Take it with the left, bring it to the left. Put the left hand back on the floor. And if you do anything, guys, it's keeping the hips steady, not letting them move. As you take one hand off the floor, your hip will instinctively want to raise to the sky to counterbalance. Do not let it. The only way you can stop it from doing that is by consciously and aggressively squeezing your stomach muscles. So keeping the shoulder blades squeezed, or keeping the shoulder blades relaxed and the stomach muscles squeezed, keeps those hips in check. And rest. We have one more round, and then we're going to go into our swing snatch. And let's go. Plank position first, and then hand off second, and then hand drag to the side third. So at any point, if you start to fail on that aspect, tail it back to the point where your posture is perfect and go from there. So always regress the exercise in order to get the right technique. And then once you have the right technique, maintain it as you become more fatigued. In 10 seconds, you're up. You're going to do a snatch. So instead of a clean, it's going to go straight up above the head this time, and you have to really rely on the explosive nature on the hips. And rest, up we get. So we're going to hinge and snatch the bell above our head. 2, 1. Hinge, snatch above the head, and then it's a swing out and down, load the hips, and then it goes straight up above the head again. Out and down, and then straight up. So the bell takes the longest way down and the shortest way up. And at all times, you have aggression through the soles of the feet, the stomach muscles tight, and the shoulder blades are pinned. And if you don't have that aggression on the soles of the feet, you're gonna have to pull with the arm. So if you find yourself pulling with the arm, you're not driving enough with the legs. You're not maintaining the shoulder blades, and you are not squeezing your core at the top. And change to the left hand in 4, 3, 2, 1. Hinge to start, snatch, and then swing her down. And then when you swing it down, the hips get pushed out the back, and essentially you are back into that snatch position again. And you have to really brace your core, because if you don't brace your core, your stomach muscles, you are not protecting your spine, you are not engaging the full energy transfer, and you will end up with a niggle on your lower back, hamstring or glute. So really consciously squeeze your stomach as you drive the floor away and propel that bell above the head. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 down, 2 to go, back to the right hand. 3, posture, hinge. 2, 1, snatch it up, swing it down. Snatch it up, swing it down. Snatch it up, swing it down. Driving at all times through the soles of the feet, maintaining posture at all times through the shoulder blades, and protecting the spine by engaging the core at all times. You're driving that bell. Keep focusing on those 3 points and you'll be okay. Aggression through the soles of the feet. There's no pull with the arm, it's a drive with the leg and hip extension. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the left. Second half, round 2. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Snatch her up, swing it down. And remember with the snatch, guys, that bell is bending your elbow out of the way. You are not consciously bending the elbow because that means you're pulling. Not now, Noah. You're not pulling with the arm. You're bending the elbow by driving the leg and swinging the bell through the core and up. 15 seconds. Keep the shoulder blades pinned. As you get tired, they're going to start to open. Don't let them. 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the right hand. Last time each side. 3, 2, hinge. 1, shoulder blades posture. Drive it up. Let it swing. Drive it up. Let it swing. Drive it up. And again, use the hips. Brace the core as you're applying the regression through the leg and hip extension. And again, it's a combination of two things you know, the snatch and the swing. Let's concentrate on the snatch aspect and the swing, get them perfect. And then the last bit that just needs addressing is the transition between the two. 2, 1, change, left hand, last time on the left. 3, 2, 1, hinge, shoulder blade, snatch, and then swing it down. Sweaty hands. How much more can I hold on to this kettlebell? We've got 30 seconds left, and then we're down, and we're into core row. There is no bell involved. It's simple core row crunch. We're going for 4 40-second rounds. You're gonna really blast your core before we go into our finisher for today. So again, do not pull with the arm, drive with the legs. Shoulders back, remain in control. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bell down on your backs. Arms and legs fully extended. Sit up and hug your knees. Let's go. So as you're drawing your knees into your chest, you're working your lower core. As you're sitting your shoulder blades up and off the floor into the crunch, you're working your upper core. Try not to swing the arms too aggressively because that will generate more momentum and we don't want that. We want to focus on belly button up with the sit-up and belly button down with the knee draw. We want to really isolate our core. So, 7 seconds. You're going to get a 5-second reprieve and then we got 3 more rounds. We're going to change up the obliques slightly and rest 5 seconds. This time when you come up, you're going to twist outside your right knee with both elbows. Let's go. So it's up and twist outside the right knee, back down. Up and twist outside the left knee, back down. It's important that you fully extend your legs and you touch the floor beyond the head with every rep because that ensures you get a full extension on the core and a full contraction on the core. It's ridiculous how many people trick themselves. They don't realize they're doing it, they're just exhausted. But they trick themselves into thinking that they're doing a full crunch when they're actually doing a half crunch and throwing their arms and legs about. And then they stand up and they go, that was great, I'm well able for that. When you actually get them and you get them to do a full range of movement, it breaks them. So rest. So we're now going to go back to straight, 2 knees, 2 elbows, let's go. So it's really important we focus on the full range of movement on the muscle. So this is our 3rd round of this. We've got 1 more 40-second round where we're going to do that rotation again. And then we're going to go into the bear crunch. That's a beast hold with a knee draw under the body. And then we're going to do a little bit of a finisher on windmills. And then it's game over for Wednesday. 10 seconds, 9, visualize your core working. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms and legs fully extended, last round. Bring the twist back into play. And let's go. Up and across the body, outside the knee, back down, up and across the body as you're coming up. So it's not 2 movements, it's 1 twist as you're crunching up. It's 1 twist back as you're going down. It's not twist up, down, twist. It's a controlled single movement. Whew. 15 seconds, and then you're gonna go back into the beast hold, but we're throwing a variation at you. Oh. And with the beast hold, it's transverse abs. The slower you go on transverse abs, the better. And rest, round we get. 2 hands, 2 knees, 2 feet. Get the knees off the floor a centimeter, no more. Let's go. So now, keeping your left knee a centimeter off the floor, draw your right knee up as close to your left forearm as you can and back. And repeat with the right knee to left forearm only. And you do not let that left knee come off the floor. That left knee should be a centimeter only off the floor. Do not let it creep up. If you are sacrificing the height of the knee in order to get the range of movement, then reduce the range of movement. Keep the knee a centimeter off the floor. Woo! So we're really getting the oblique twist in there. Again, whole palm of the hand on the floor. And rest. Woo! We got one more. Left knee, right forearm. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So our left knee to our right forearm, and that right knee stays a centimeter. The centimeter is the width of a pen. Think of it that way. It doesn't go any higher than the width of a pen off the floor. And keeping it there as you move that left knee across the body. Stomach should be really screaming, getting it on the obliques as well as the twisting core. Shoulder blades should be relaxed. Whew. 10 seconds now. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 seconds. We're back to the bell. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the bell. Windmills to finish. 3 rounds on each side. Right hand above the head. Feet nice and wide. Left hand inside left knee. Twist, look at the bell. Down as low as you can to the foot and back up. And we are not letting that bell change from directly above the body. If it starts to tip forward, come back up. Only go as low as that bell staying above the body will allow. Whew. My obliques are exhausted, my shoulder is tired, and the fact that the shoulder is kind of on its own here because the obliques are too busy putting out their own fire really comes into its own because the bell is starting to shake. 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Change, left side. This is your last exercise, guys. After windmills, we're done. Let's go. So I always find I'm less mobile on my right hand down because of an old injury. So I'm just tailing the movement off a little bit earlier and coming back up because I'm looking to focus on my stomach muscles more than anything. I'm bringing my core in at the back as well, obviously for stability, but you gotta really consciously squeeze your stomach in order to get that bell to stay above the head as you lower and come back up. So brace your core, control your breathing, and change back to the right. Last round, last 2 rounds on each side. Whew. So it's right, left, done. And again, I want you to keep that bell above your body. Look up at it at all times. Imagine it's a tray with a glass of water on it. You do not want that glass of water, which is full, to spill in any way, shape or form. You are running your hand down. You're keeping both feet flat on the floor. You can bend your knees accordingly. That bell does not fall backwards or forwards. It stays directly up without spilling water. I must try this with a full glass of water and see how we get on. No, outside. 5 seconds. 4, 3, once a mother, always a mother. 2, 1, change. Bell up, right hand on the inside of the right leg, and down we go. So the next time you find yourself in this exercise, or this side, it will be the last 40-second window of your hump day session, which is massive on the core. Don't freak out if you didn't get the movement pattern straight away. Stick to what you know. We know our swing, we know our clean, we know the snatch, we know the thrusters, so we just focus on those movement patterns and then slowly start to bring the transition from one to the other in as we go. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time, right side and then left. Let's go. So we are just getting the last bit out of those transverse abs, That's your deep foundational core. Rectus abdominis, which is your six-pack core, and your obliques, which is your twisting core. So think of the transverse abs, the deep core as a corset, which stabilizes the whole trunk and protects the spine. Then you've got your shoulder. We're holding that at full arm's length above the head, and we're letting the weight sit through the shoulder into the shoulder blade. That's also stability on the shoulders. 6 seconds, 5, 4, it's a huge full body workout. 2, 1, change to the left with the focus on the core. And here we go, last 40 seconds. Reach down, tip, squeeze your core, spring back up. Reach down, twisting as we go. Keep an eye on that bell. Spring yourself back up. And at all times, you are under control. There's no way you can pause at the bottom and keep that bell above the body without being in ultimate control. Because at any point, if you're not in control, that bell's just gonna fall. And we don't want that. So if you would at any point feel like you're out of control, come back up, reset, go again within those limits. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Whew. And that is our Wednesday. So like I was saying, there's a few newbies in there, or, well, not newbies, but new variations, we should say, in there. So take your time, focus on what you know, build on what you know. So we know swing, we know snatch, we know thruster, we know cleans. So we just try and combine those two and just shave down the transition between them. Oh, that was super, thanks. You're very welcome, Necessara Lee 1 and Curly Cum. So guys, we're just getting into a cool down stretch. So we'll start with our hip flexors and then we'll go into our glutes. So I want you to put your left knee on the floor, right foot in front, interlock your fingers, put them behind your head and just push your knee forward and let your left hip just fall forward. Relaxing the shoulder blades as we go, and the emphasis here is on the hip flexor, which essentially is the border between your lower abs and your upper thigh. Think of it that way, so across the hip socket. That's your hip flexor. So basically those guys are designed to draw your thighs up and into your stomach. So that's why you start to feel the tops of your thighs come into play when you're doing a lot of core work. Because the core is looking for help, it pulls on the hip flexors then pull on the upper thigh starts to give you jip. So it's really important we relax these out, because then we're going to get the other muscle at the back. So we're going to now get our left leg, which we're just stretching, and put it in front, and we're going to go out over it, and we're going to stretch out our left glute. So we just stretched out our left hip flexor, we're now stretching out our left glute. So our left leg is bent in front of us, and we're out over our shin with our hands or our knee, elbows on the floor, and we're focusing on the left ass cheek, left ass pocket area of the body. Again, relax through the shoulder blades. So by stretching out the left glute and the left hip flexor, those two muscles are constantly at war. They're constantly pulling against each other. So if you relax your glute, your hip flexor will overtake and start pulling more. If you relax your hip flexor, your glute will then overtake and start pulling your glute. So you want to stretch them both equally, so they're both relaxed and they both stop pulling against each other. They're constantly at civil war. That's important to stretch out both if you've got a tight lower back. Okay, and then up we come. We're now going to put our right knee on the floor, our left foot out in front, interlock fingers behind the head, and just let that hip flexor drop forward. Relax your shoulder blades. So emphasis here is on stretching out that hip flexor on the right side, and relaxing into that stretch. So how'd you get on today? Let us know. Post, comment, like, tag, share. 63 sessions done. If you didn't like this one and you want to do one again, go to our YouTube or go to our Instagram TV. You'll find 62 other ones. Okay, we're now going to take our right foot, because we've just had our right knee on the floor, leg underneath the body, out in front onto the shin, and let that leg behind you get pulled out straight. And the emphasis now is on the right butt cheek. Manipulate your posture by pushing away from the floor or getting closer to the floor in order to target that right butt cheek. So the more you maneuver the body into position, the better, because it's, you know how it feels, and a stretch on me will be slightly different to a stretch on you, so you have to manipulate your body slightly differently to the way I have. But the focus we're looking for is the right ass cheek area. So keep manipulating the body slightly until you get the stretch there. And when you get the stretch there, relax through your shoulder blades, let the body just sink passively into that stretch and completely relax with the exhales. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and up we come. Last one. Drop the right hand down the back in between the shoulder blades, left on the elbow, pull to the left, feel the stretch down the right side, stretching out that right side of your core. Thanks very much, man. Great sessions with you. You're very welcome, Sheila. You're very welcome, teens. Whew, and change. No problems, Nadine. So again, we're pulling to the right side now. We're stretching out the left side. And if you're new to the session or you just dropped in, they're wholly scalable. They're available for everyone to attempt. They're on our Instagram TV and they're also on our YouTube channel, link in the bio. Other than that, I will see you tomorrow at midday. Have a good one, guys. Wash yourselves.